like a muted alarm that never rang. I had always sensed that something wasn't quite right with my wife. Long ago, Isabel Whitmore was the woman who clasped my hand and told me we would conquer the world together. Her eyes once sparkled when they met mine, her laughter filling every corner of the room. But as the years passed, her warmth faded into a coldness I couldn't fully explain. It began with her staying out late. The sharp tone in her voice whenever she spoke to me. The way she would dodge my gaze halfway through a conversation, as though I wasn't worth her time anymore. I brushed it off as stress, a temporary struggle. After all, 7 years of marriage had to mean something, didn't it? I was foolish to believe that. Now I see how blind I was. I clung to an image of her that no longer existed. We had been weathering storms together, or so I thought. Losing my position at the finance firm crushed me. One day I was analyzing figures, feeling useful. The next, I was packing my desk, avoiding the sympathetic stares of coworkers. It wasn't only the paycheck I lost. It was my confidence, my sense of being a provider. Isabel tried to be patient at first, but that patience vanished quickly. Then came the struggle with infertility. We had been trying for a child for years, and each negative test hit like a blow to the chest. Doctors ran endless tests, and I took the blame because that's what husbands often do, right? I endured her relatives whispering behind my back, calling me worthless, while she stayed silent, never defending me once. I believed we were partners standing against the storm. I was wrong. Everything unraveled on my birthday. That morning, I woke with a trace of hope. Maybe today things would turn around. Isabel had been distant, yes, but she arranged something special. A meal at her favorite French cafe. I dressed in my best shirt, the one she used to say made my eyes stand out, and allowed myself to picture her smiling again. Maybe she wanted to remind us that we were still worth fighting for. I drove to the restaurant, my heart racing like a boy on his first date. The hostess led me to a private room, and pride washed over me. Isabel had gone all out, I thought. But the room was empty. No candles, no decorations, no Isabel. Just a table set for one and a white envelope. My hands trembled as I picked it up. I opened it, expecting a heartfelt note or maybe a surprise clue. Instead, I found divorce papers. Her name sprawled neatly in her flawless handwriting. Inside was a small note, and the words froze me in place. Happy birthday. Infertile and jobless trash should just leave. My chest hollowed out. 7 years of shared dreams, morning coffees, whispered plans, reduced to this. She didn't just want to leave me, she wanted to destroy me. The waiter entered then, polite as ever, asking if I was ready to order. I stared at the papers on the table like they were a cruel centerpiece. And something in me shifted. Not anger, at least not yet. Just a strange calm. I told him yes, I would eat. He brought the food Isabel must have ordered in advance, as if she intended to sit here pretending to be the loving wife before striking. I ate every bite in silence. The clink of my fork echoed in the empty room. With every chew, one thought circled in my mind. She had no idea what I was capable of. She believed she had won. But this wasn't my end. It was my beginning. I finished the meal, paid the bill with the last of my cash, and stepped out into the cool night air. For the first time in months I felt alive. Isabel thought she had built a fortress on solid ground. But the truth was different. Our marriage had already been crumbling. I was just too loyal to admit it. She had lit a fire she could not control. And I wasn't going to let it consume me. I would rise stronger than she ever imagined. She would regret the day she called me trash. Because I wasn't finished. Not even close. This was only the start. I was building something new, something she would never touch. Each step forward was a quiet victory. Meanwhile, Isabel paraded around in her honeymoon phase with Daniel Carter. I heard through acquaintances that she attended parties on his arm, smiling in designer clothes. She thought she had struck gold, replacing me with a man who had more money and a louder laugh. But I wasn't shaken. Her infertility remained her secret, hidden from him. Daniel's obsession with leaving a legacy was a ticking clock she couldn't stop, and I had the best seat in the house to watch it run out. That night, after a conference, I loosened my tie in my penthouse and poured a glass of whiskey. The city glowed beneath me. My phone buzzed with an unknown number. I nearly ignored it, probably a reporter, but curiosity won. I answered, and her voice filled my ear. Isabel. Her tone was shaky, nothing like the arrogant edge I remembered. "We need to talk," she said. I stood still, glass in hand, letting silence stretch. Part of me wanted to hear her squirm, but the larger part simply didn't care. She had spoken her truth on my birthday. I wasn't giving her another chance. I hung up without a word, took a long sip, and let the burn in my throat replace any emotion she might stir. 2 months earlier, I had been eating alone in that private dining room with her papers staring at me. Now I was the man investors toasted, the name appearing in headlines as a rising star in tech. She had no idea. She thought I was still the broken man she discarded. She didn't know about the multimillion-dollar deal, the thriving startup, the penthouse I had bought in cash. And she certainly didn't know Daniel was one of my backers, unknowingly funding my future while she clung to his side. I turned off the lights and headed to bed. The city hummed below, alive with possibility. Isabel's call lingered in my thoughts for a moment, but I pushed it aside. She had made her choice. And I wasn't about to lie in the bed she created.